This is Rebel Therapist, a podcast for entrepreneurs who are trained as therapists and who want to level up their businesses, make a bigger impact, feel fulfilled, and be very well paid. I'm your host, Annie Schuessler. Hi there. This week, it's just you and me. So earlier this week, I hosted an online workshop called 3 Things Entrepreneurs Know and You Should Too. And I want to share some of the information that I shared there with you now. If you were there for the workshop, you're going to hear some of the same stuff, but you're also going to hear a few different examples in this episode. Okay, let's dive right in. So if you own your own business, you already are an entrepreneur, and you may not think of yourself that way. So the title, 3 Things Entrepreneurs Know and You Should Too, is a little bit misleading because, well, you are an entrepreneur. But why don't we as therapists often identify as entrepreneurs? Well, we may not want to identify as entrepreneurs because we're afraid of business and marketing. It just doesn't align with us. We're repelled by greed. We think that big businesses are cruel. And, we're really right about that a lot of the time. A lot of the time, big businesses and some small businesses don't treat their workers right, and they don't treat their customers right either. We see our greedy, cruel president right now who identifies as an entrepreneur, and we don't want to identify the same way. As therapists, we tend to be compassionate and ethical people, and often we think of that as being the opposite of an entrepreneur. But the thing is, micro businesses like ours are actually part of the solution. Ethical businesses who have high standards and a caring purpose are really part of what this world needs right now. Business does not have to be cruel or greedy. And your business can be creative, collaborative, and progressive. And your business can even be a vehicle to help you lead a movement. And our last few guests have really shown you that over the last few weeks. Running a business with your values in mind can be some of the most fun you'll ever have. And at the same time, it's really challenging. Your business will challenge you in deep ways and will force you to grow. Embracing your identity as an entrepreneur is going to help you consciously decide what kind of business you want to be running. And it's going to open up a lot of possibilities that you wouldn't consider if you were rejecting the identity of entrepreneur. So let's explore some of those possibilities right now. And my biggest hope is that this is just going to spark some ideas for you. So the first concept, I've got 3 concepts. The first one I want to share with you is the idea of rocking your business model. So what does this mean? Your business model is simply the combination of offerings that you get paid for within your business. So this isn't to be confused with a business plan, which can be much more complicated and cumbersome. A business model is something that you already have if you have a business. So if you're a therapist in private practice, perhaps your business model is delivering 50-minute sessions in your office. That's a business model. When you rock your business model, you're able to be intentional about how you set up your business and earn your money. And you're no longer creating your business by default, just kind of doing what's expected. As business strategist Tara McMullen says, your business is making about the amount of money it's designed to make. So what that means is you might be able to move the needle a little bit by bringing in more clients or raising your fees or sticking to your policies and enforcing them. But if you want to radically change your income, if you want to double or triple your income, you're probably going to need to change your business model. So how can you rock your business model? You might choose to scale an offer. And what I mean by scaling is that you serve more than one person at a time, more than 2 people at a time. Or you could change your one-on-one offers so that they give more value and you can charge more. And a really simple example of that would be offering marathon sessions. So when you explore and lean into your business model, you're no longer trapped. You can get creative and find a business model that's right for you, and you can continue to experiment with it and change it over time. You can let go of, or at least you can loosen up the idea that you're working for an hourly wage and that you're paid for the amount of time you spend directly with your clients. You can start charging based on the value of the outcomes you help deliver. If you want to, It also frees you up to start offering some lower cost services and make more money at the same time, like if you're running a large group of some sort. When you rock your business model, you're paid to own your business rather than owning your job. And there's no ceiling to what kind of income you could create. Now, if you don't embrace this concept, you kind of hit a ceiling, and you can hit that ceiling pretty fast. And when that happens for therapists, a lot of times you're not clear on why you've hit that ceiling or really how low that ceiling really is. You don't realize the limits of your current business model. You just end up feeling frustrated and feeling like a failure and just wishing you were making more. If you don't rock your business model, you also might get bored. You can be limiting your impact and you can be holding yourself back from using more of your superpowers, using more parts of yourself. You're still an hourly worker. You're just an hourly worker who's working for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. That might even be the right solution for you. But I think it's important to make that decision rather than just making it by default. Let me give you an example. For each of these concepts, I'm going to give you examples. So I worked with someone in one of my programs who realized that even if she could fill her practice and raise her fees steadily, she had really hit a ceiling. And as soon as she started looking at her business model in this creative way, she got sparked by the idea of having an intentional business model. And she started by adding clinicians to her practice and then started a group program. Another example is a guest who's going to be on the podcast soon, my friend Ali Shapiro. She's trained as a holistic nutritionist and an integrated health coach, and she runs a program called Truce with Food. It's a 6-month group coaching program for people who want to change their relationship with food and find what she calls food freedom. And this program costs $5,000. And Ali and her clients know it's worth it. Another example is Barry Tesler, and she was a guest on the podcast in January of 2018. She runs The Art of Money, a year-long program that's got hundreds of participants, and they're changing their relationships with money. And she charges $88 per month, and you need to sign up for the full 12 months for this. She's created tons of curriculum over the years, and she puts all of that into the program. And she hosts monthly group calls throughout the year, and she provides an exclusive Facebook group. And one more example for rocking your business model is Ellie Vargas. She was a guest just a couple weeks ago on this podcast, and she started Bay Area Center for Immigration Evaluations. And now she's developing a network of immigration evaluation clinicians. So how can you start using this concept right away? Start by brainstorming what kinds of offers you might want to add to your business. So you can start with this list, but it is really limitless. There's so many things that you, who have the training and the experience of a therapist, can do for the world. So it could start with a workshop, an online course, a group coaching program, an individual program, a digital product of some sort, a group therapy program, a membership community, a retreat, a group therapy practice or therapy center, or something else. So let yourself think outside the box. As you look at these possibilities, notice which ones allow you to make more money without adding hours with your clients, and notice which ones light you up the most. And that's probably the very most important thing. And as you're brainstorming, if you find yourself falling into a per hour mindset, notice that and resist it. Think about this. For some of the offers you come up with, you could make the mistake of adding time without adding value, and you don't want to do that. And that's that per hour mindset that we can fall into. You could add value while taking away time spent, and that would be much better for you. So for example, you could create some curriculum that you script out and record and share with participants of a program. You'd record it once and serve a lot of people. And that may actually add value because they can refer to that curriculum over and over again. So in that way, you've just added value and removed your time. The second concept I want to give you is test your ideas early. So what that means for you is that before you invest a ton of time, money, or energy into one of your great ideas, even if you just know it's a great idea, you should test it. create what we can call the minimum viable product or minimum viable service for that offer. You see if anyone wants it, you get feedback, and then you improve it. And then you create the next iteration. And all of your offers are always an iterative process. The minimum viable product or the minimum viable service is just the first version of an offer. And you create it to provide enough features to give value to the first people who purchase it. So this is a simple, easy to create version of a new offer. So you can think of it as come up with your amazing vision and dream into it, and then make it really easy so you can actually do it and get started. This concept comes from startup culture, and you can learn a lot more about it if you want to nerd out on this in the book Lean Startup. It's a process that's been adopted by pretty much all of the successful entrepreneurs I know and I've studied. What this can mean for you right away is when you come up with an offer, find a way to do it simply. Think up your big idea, notice what it could look like, and then do a really small and simple version of it. And if you want to take some pressure off yourself, you may decide you want to charge less for it the first time around. Or you might not. Here's the problem if you decide not to test your ideas early, and this really breaks my heart when I see this. You're going to waste so much time and money, most likely. Your end result also might not be as effective because it won't have benefited from feedback along the way. And you might not even complete the offer because it can take so much time and money to fully develop an offer. And then it might end up just sitting there on your computer or sitting on your desk. I'll use Barry Tesler as an example again. So she started The Art of Money. She talks about this in the episode that we recorded in January of 2018. She started the program in person as a 3-month program with smaller groups. And she developed it over time. She ran it over and over again. And then after years, she turned it into a year-long program. And she says that she never could have started it off as a year-long program. She needed to start more simply. And there's me. I've done this with all of my programs. I started the Superpower Method for Therapists program with just 4 participants, teaching and coaching all the curriculum in real time. I didn't create a ton of worksheets before I started. I just created the worksheets as I went when I saw what was needed. And now the program has 8 lessons, each lesson with multiple videos, 2 guest teachers, 2 additional coaches. And all of that has been in response to what was needed and what was working. The same thing is true for Rebel Therapist Mastermind. I ran it twice as a simple 8-session mastermind group, and now I've expanded it to starting off with a 3-day intensive followed up by 8 months of masterminding. And I added those things because I found that they were needed. And so how can you start using this concept of testing ideas early right away? Well, let's say you want to create a multi-lesson course with curriculum. Start perhaps by running a workshop and just teaching part of the material that you intend to teach. Teach it live. You can do it online or in person, but do it live and sell this to just a small number of participants. See what works, ask for feedback, and particularly see if people get the outcome that you were hoping they'd get and that they were hoping they would get. And if you can't sell it to anyone, then you know you've got some adjustments to make, which may mean that you've got to work on your messaging, or you need to work on getting it in front of more of the right people, or even that it's not the right offer and that you've got some more work to do. Or let's say you want to start a therapy center and you have a big vision of that center. Maybe it's going to have tons of therapists working in it eventually. I would encourage you to start with exactly one person in addition to yourself. Hiring that one person and working with them is going to teach you so much about what works and what doesn't, and what your strengths and challenges are as a manager. And then you're going to be ready to expand with all of that information. All right, our third concept, our final concept, is have a content strategy. So your content is all of the stuff you create: articles, social media posts, videos, podcast episodes, including being a guest on podcasts, Insta stories, all that stuff. Content strategy means having a goal for what you want your content to achieve and having a plan that informs everything you create, where you deliver it, and when you deliver it. What this can mean for you You've got to decide what you want your content to accomplish. So don't just decide that your content is meant to get you more exposure. You really have to be more specific. Make sure that the goal is specific and tied to money. And it's okay if while you're figuring this out, you play and you enjoy and you just create what you want to create. That's totally great. But have in mind that you're going to come up with a strategy over time. If you don't know who your right fit participant or client is, that's really step one. Figure out who this person is, who this group of people is, what problem you're planning on solving for them, and what they're saying about that problem, what they're experiencing about that problem, and particularly what they've already tried to solve the problem. Then think about, what do you ultimately want them to do? What service or product do you want them to ultimately purchase? And then you create a content strategy that leads only your most right fit clients or participants to that decision. And you really don't worry about anybody else. Your strategy doesn't have to look a certain way. Here's one way you can do it. You can create a free offer like an ebook or a webinar that's designed to deliver a small part of the solution to your right fit person's problem. You allow people to access that who opt in with their email. And when they opt in, they also join your email list. After they engage with that book or that webinar, then they might be ready to purchase your program or hire you or take the next step that you're hoping your right fit people take. Or they continue receiving more emails from you, and those continue to lead them through a process to decide whether or not to hire you. You have to think about what this client might need to hear in order to be ready to hire you or know that they're not going to hire you. So maybe this decision is going to happen after one piece of content and they'll know everything they need to know. Or maybe it'll happen after several months. So each piece of content is designed only for your future clients or participants. None of your content is created just to bring in more people. Every single time you create something, you design it to help your right fit client and help them decide if they're going to hire you, if they're going to engage further. And if it repels other people, that's fine. And in fact, that's even good. You're spending your energy on the people who need you the most. You're building an audience of future clients and customers. You're not focusing on quantity. What you don't want is to end up being hugely popular and making very little money. And still, what will happen is that you're going to end up serving a lot of people who never hire you. And that's kind of awesome. So some things that might help people know that they want to hire you would be busting a misconception that they have about their problem. Learning that they were wrong about their problem and about what's causing their problem could help them. Or helping them realize that what they're doing now is making their problem worse. Or helping them come to some other kind of insight about their problem that they need in order to start solving it. Also explaining why your solution works. And then it can help to, especially at the end of that decision, it can help to just name the decision about whether or not they're going to hire you. Now, there's something going on right now with Marie Kondo where a lot of these things are happening. A lot of misconceptions about clutter are being busted. A lot of people are realizing that what they've been doing to try to deal with clutter is making the problem worse. That's what's happening right now, and it's really interesting to watch. If you don't embrace this concept of having a content strategy, the problem is that you're always going to be creating content and just giving away stuff for free and not getting paid. You can become really popular and not profitable. So if your content doesn't create a path to people paying you, I don't want you to assume that it's just going to pay off eventually. Eventually, you need to create that path or your content's eventually going to burn you out. I'll give you an example. Barry Tesler. Let's look at her content strategy. So once a year, she sells her program, The Art of Money. And every year, she creates a short podcast series right during the time that she's accepting new people into her program. And in each of those episodes, she interviews someone about their money story. And then she also writes articles throughout the year addressing money issues. Everything she creates is geared to people who are seeking a deep and holistic answer for their money issues. She doesn't focus on money tips. So she could grow her audience really fast that way. And then when she was ready to sell her program, she'd have an audience filled with people looking for tips, not looking for depths. So she creates her content for her future participants. And let's think about April Harder for a moment. I released my interview with April right at the start of this year, 2019. She uses Instagram to constantly bust misconceptions about racism and to help people arrive at new insights. And then she offers her webinars, her free webinars, and her free ebook to people who want to go deeper. And all of that leads to an opportunity to invest in her coaching program. Tons of people who don't do the program are benefiting, but she's also created a path for people to invest. So how can you start using this concept right away? First, decide who your content is for and what you want them to do, which involves paying you. Create content in a way that really comes easily to you. So brainstorm all the things your future client or customer needs to hear in order to be ready to take action, and then deliver it in a way that feels really good to you. So that could be writing, it could be a podcast, it could be like what April's doing with Instagram. So those are the three concepts. And I really hope that you feel more empowered as an entrepreneur and that these ideas have sparked a few things for you in your own business. As this episode goes live, enrollment for my program Rebel Therapist Mastermind is almost over for this round. The very last chance to apply is Thursday, January 31st. If you're listening to this after that date, January 31st, 2019, or if the program's already full, you can get on the waitlist for next time, which will probably be the fall of 2019. So this is the program I designed to help you increase your impact and your income beyond the therapy room. It's for people who have a feeling that they're supposed to be leading in a different, bigger way, even if they're afraid or not quite sure how. So you remember when we were talking about all the possibilities of what you could create when you rock your business model? Those are the things that you'll work on in this program, actually making those things happen. The program happens in 3 stages. In stage 1, you fill out a questionnaire during the first week of the program. And in that questionnaire, you focus on who your right fit client or participant is and what you want to help them with. You answer questions about your strengths and challenges and where you are right now in your business. And this all sets you up to be ready for the first meeting and gives me a chance to know where you're at. And I read and analyze each questionnaire. Stage 2 is our 3-day intensive. For 6 hours a day, for 3 days in a row, we home in on your vision of what you'd like to offer. We work on your powerful message and what sets you apart. We outline your offer and how you're going to deliver it, and we figure out your marketing plan. You're going to create your connection document during those 3 days, which is something that's going to guide you through the creation, marketing, and delivery of your offer. In stage 3, you're going to have monthly meetings with me and the small group for 90 minutes each meeting over video. And this is going to support you in the process of creating, marketing, and delivering the offer. Giving you a full 9-month process really gives you enough time to create and launch something. You're going to get ongoing support during that time from me and the other Rebel therapists between sessions. So if you think this might be right for you, go ahead and apply now at rebeltherapist.me/mastermind. And again, if it's already full or if it's after January 31st, 2019, when you're listening to this, still go to rebeltherapist.me/mastermind and get on the wait list. Okay, I will see you next time.